Hello everyone, my name is Wacky Cat, and today I'm going to take you through my process of creating this Frankie doll. First, I take my base, which was a core G3 Frankie from when G3 first came out. I cut their hair, I painted their lips, and I ended up just kind of throwing them in storage, so now it's time to save them from that fate. First, we have to erase their face with acetone, and then after acetone I like to wash off the face to protect the face from acetone damaging the plastic over time. This is where I kind of started getting the idea that I wanted for this doll. This doll spoke to me red and pattern, specifically like the G1, gingham pattern? I don't know what it's called. But that's what popped into my head. After lobotomizing them and spraying the face with MSC, Mr. Super Clear Matte, I started on the pencils. I started this doll with the intent to practice pencils and watercolor paints. The footage you see here is my third attempt at sketching the face. It was kind of hard trying to think ahead of how many layers you could possibly need, because for pencils and watercolors and like pastels, you need to work in layers in order to build up opacity. So it was very frustrating to me at first how it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, when all I just needed was another coat of MSC and then to continue going. This is when I decided that I absolutely hated the blue eye and just decided to start all over. That's one thing I really appreciated about the pencils, of how forgiving they were. You could just erase it and then continue, erase it and then continue. With acrylics, you have to acetone the face again, and then you have to do more MSC and then wait 30 minutes again, and just I am very thankful for how forgiving these pencils were. For the eyeshadow here, I just used some chalk pastels. I redid the lips because I wanted them to be more red rather than purple, and I finally found a red pencil instead of the purpley red that I found, so hooray! I always have a hard time with blush because I can never get it to be super even, especially on the nose, so I have to spend so much time making sure that it fades out nicely. This is the first layer of pencils. I sealed this with MSC and then I continued. I was really liking how much depth I could achieve with pencils for the irises of the eyes. It was a whole lot easier to add shading and shadows and highlights with colored pencils rather than acrylics, where you need to mix individual paint. I found that to be a blessing for my impatience. Here's where I remembered that Frankie has stitches. And as a good Frankenstein should have, is a lot of stitches. And so I put a lot of stitching on this doll's face. I used red pencil for the lines, inspired by the prototype, and blue pencil for the stitches. Like I said, I kind of went overboard with the face stitching, but I really love how it turned out. Now I started on watercolors using this Master's Touch semi-moist watercolor cakes. Now I'm starting to paint the pattern as the eyeshadow. The pencils on its own weren't pigmented enough, so I opted to go for these watercolors. The only things I will be painting on the face will be the whites of the eyes, the highlights, and the eyeshadow. Apparently I lost footage for me doing the red lines, but here it is all finished. After sealing with MSC, I really wanted to do this one body modification that I've had on my mind for a really long time. I've always loved seeing customs of Frankies with top surgery, or even just with a flat chest. Number one, even more opportunity to add stitches. And number two, a way to celebrate G3 Frankie's identity as non-binary. Part of the appeal of G3 to me is the diversity, and I want to show that in my customs. Oh, and if you plan on dremeling a doll anytime soon, make sure you don't do what I did. Be aware of loose clothing and hair. Once I sanded it down to a point that I was happy with, you guessed it, added more stitches. They're addicting because they're so easy to do. Now it was time for the most ambitious part, painting the leg with the same pattern as the eyeshadow. First, I put a couple coats of the teal base color onto the leg and the foot. Then I painted thick black lines all the way down the leg, and I don't have a lot of footage of this because of how precise I needed to be and how straight I needed these lines to be, so I just took some progress pictures. Then I made a grid of thin white lines, then slightly offset from that was a red grid. Then, after spraying the leg and face one more time with MSC, I decided to extra seal the leg with Mod Podge, and this ended up being not a great idea. And the reason why is because Mod Podge is water-based, and in order for it to lay nicer, I watered it down. And what kind of paint did I use? Yes, watercolors. So it ended up smudging a bit. Oh, it killed me. I still need to fix it. To make myself feel better, I made a custom shirt. I really liked the idea of having one super long sleeve, so I just cut up a few panels. Really, the front panel is just one square fabric, the back panel is just like a little bit longer so I could cut it and put the Velcro in, and then the sleeve is just one long tube. It was very simple to make. I also decided that this Frankie needed a one-handed fingerless glove to balance the asymmetry and really accentuate it. Now this is them all done up. The face probably took me 3 hours, the leg probably took me 1 hour, and the shirt probably took me another hour. But this was a really fun doll to make. Very experimental. I did a lot of things that I haven't done before on this doll, but it was very well worth it. I hope you love how they turned out, and I really want to hear your suggestions for new dolls and anything you want me to try. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments or advice for new videos, please let me know in the comments below.